guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. My name's Kaya and lately I've been making an Italy series. So I've been talking about my experience in Italy, living in Milan, and just giving you random cultural facts or tips that I have, and today's no different. Today I'm going to be talking about kind of, I guess, things that I wish I knew before I went to Milan, and things that I feel like would have really helped me just with the little things, things that you might not think about when you first arrive. So yeah, these are like little tips that I would give anyone who is going to Milan for the first time and maybe moving there or going there for like an extended period of time or something. Because when I first got there, I was so lost. I had no idea what to do. Even like getting from the airport to our Airbnb, for example, it was always like we actually had pre-booked a shuttle, but you know, like if we hadn't have had that, that was quite expensive and we had to book that when we were in Australia. So if I didn't have that, I would have needed alternative transport, alternative means of transport, and I wouldn't have known how to do that otherwise. So I wanted to make this video giving you little tips like that and things that I guess you can kind of do when you first arrive in Milan, little admin things that you might need to know, or things that you wouldn't think about if you didn't know anything about moving overseas, for example. So that's what this video is going to be, guys. I really hope you enjoy it. Let's just get straight into this video. I've got quite a few tips to get through. Some of them are just like general, and then other ones are also uni specific, because I did study in a university over there and they do have like certain programs in place that make it easier for students when they first arrive. So I'll talk about those things at the end, because I'm not sure if you're going, like it might just be for like a holiday or a vacation or whatever. So I'll leave those until the end for those of you who are thinking about going there to study, because I know, yeah, universities have certain things in place that make it easier for students. So I've got these written down on my laptop here, so I'm just going to get straight into them. So the first thing you have to know is that when you arrive at the airport in Milan, there are a few different airports, but I think the main one for if you're coming from Australia or, you know, Dubai, whatever, you usually go to Malpensa. So that one is quite far out from the main center of Milan. It's about, I guess, 40, maybe 45 minutes if you drive, or 45 minutes in the train. And then if you get the bus, it's like an hour and 10 or something like that. But basically there's a few different options, a few different things that you can do. So when you get to the airport, get your bags and everything, lots of signs that direct you to like exit, etc, etc. You'll see signs that are pointing to trains and then signs that are pointing to buses. So you can either get the shuttle bus, which goes straight to Centrale, which is like the Milan Central Station, and you pay like 10 euros and you get on the bus. You can put your bags all underneath, and it takes you all the way to Central Station, and then you can either get a taxi from there. There's like a massive taxi bay that makes it really easy, or you can get the metro, which is really easy to buy a ticket. The only bad thing about that is like if you have all your bags with you, it might be a little bit more difficult to like maneuver things around, get down the stairs and everything, because there's not always escalators. Alternatively, and in my opinion this is actually a better option, is they have the trains. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure you can buy your ticket on the spot. Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Every time I've done it online. That's the only reason why I'm questioning it. But I'm sure you can buy it there. I think they have like ticket booths there that you can get it from. And basically it's like a really, I guess, a fast train that goes, you can either go to Central Station, like the one that the bus goes to, or you can go even better, which is closer to like the Duomo area, is Cadorna. So that one is probably better in my opinion, depending on which area from Milan you're staying in. Cadorna is like, I think we can walk to Duomo from there. So I would say that's probably the best station to go to. But if you are wanting to get a taxi, I'm not sure how many taxis are actually around area. There's definitely more in Central, so maybe get the train to Central. If you're getting the train, it might make it a bit easier to get to where you actually need to be, but for when you're like, when you've been living in Milan for a while, and you get to know like the different areas, how to get around easily and things like that, then Cadorna is probably a better option, I would say. The second thing is like a bit of a practical one as well, is to get your international driver's license. So this is something you can do before you go. I did this, but I actually didn't drive really when I was in Milan, but I really wish I had the confidence to do it. Not everyone will, but they have these little things called CarToGo. It's an app on your phone, and basically what it lets you do is like, they have all those little smart cars, and basically you have an app on your phone, and it's like, it shows you a map of where they all are around the city, and you can have a look to where you're close to, and it helps you find them really easily. Once you you put all your car details and stuff in on your phone, and when you get in the car, it like unlocks the car for you when you get close to it, and then basically you can use that as like a temporary rental car, and you just pay like whatever the price is to get you from A to B or whatever. But it's like one of those things where, I don't know if any of you guys have been to Europe and used those scooters, like those electric scooters, and you can leave them in like certain areas. It's kind of the same thing but for cars, so you can park it kind of anywhere, given that it's like allowed on the app, for example, like a place that you can leave it on the map. But yeah, basically they're really handy. I had a couple of people, like I went in them a few times with friends and stuff like that while I was in Milan, and they were really convenient, especially like if public transport had ended, for example, or if you needed to get somewhere like really early in the morning. The third thing I'm gonna say is to get an Italian bank account. Now, me personally, I didn't do this, and I really wish I had. My friend did. The other girl that was staying in Milan with me from Sydney set up her own Italian bank account, and even though she said there was a lot of paperwork involved, the good thing about it was that she actually saved quite a lot of money in fees, like international conversion fees, because I had two options. I used Citibank, and then I also used the CommBank travel money cards, and it doesn't actually tell you in the app, but if you look it up, because I have like an app as well external to my banking app that allows you to like compare currencies in kind of real time. So you can type in euros, like whatever it is, and then it'll show you the Aussie dollar and vice versa. So when I would compare, when I would pay for something on my Commonwealth travel money card, it would actually charge me a fee. I would notice the price difference. So I think when you have like an Italian bank account, the fee is, it's either, I think there still is one, but it's a lot less. So you actually save a lot of money. If you are staying there for a long time, it's definitely something you should look into. Yeah, my friend that got it said it was really worth it, and she saved a lot of money doing that. So if I went again, if I was there for a long time again, that's definitely something that I would look at doing. As for traveling within Italy, it's really good. I found this so easy, like so convenient, was Trenitalia, which is like the Italian train system that takes you literally all over Italy. So you can go from Milan down to the south near Bari. It'll take you like all the way, obviously not Sicily because it's separate, but it'll take you all through like the mainland Italy, and you can get it for relatively cheap given the time of year. It depends, like obviously around Christmas time and holidays and things like that, it does get a little bit more expensive, but in general it's such a convenient way. They have like those they're really, I guess, comfortable trains. It's not like a train as we would think about it in Australia. It's very much like comfy, and you get those big seats, and because Italy is so small compared to Australia, like in terms of the landmass, it only takes, I think, 8 hours or something in the train to get all the way from the north to the very south of Italy in the train. So it's quite it's quite a good way to get around. So if you're doing a weekend trip or something to Florence or Rome or whatever, it's really, really good and convenient Trenitalia. I'll put it on the screen here so you guys have it for your own reference, but I found that so handy. I use it all the time. The only thing you have to take note of, I guess, is that you need to be able to compare. So I used a Skyscanner in addition to compare like flight prices to the train prices, because a lot of the time the train would be more expensive than the flight, but sometimes it wouldn't be. Sometimes they always vary throughout the year, so that's definitely something to keep in mind as well, is that you would think that the train would be cheaper a lot of the time, but sometimes it isn't. So just, yeah, make sure you compare those prices, especially when I was going to Rome. I think I was gonna get the train and then I realized that flying there was cheaper. So I think because in the train it takes about 3 and a bit hours, and it's actually the similar travel time if you were to fly, because of like traveling to the airport and then, you know, traveling to your place once you get there. So it kind of works out similar. The next one I'm going to talk about is aperitivo. Now, aperitivo in Milan is probably the thing that I miss most about it. I guess it's like the equivalent to our happy hour, but like 10 times better. Basically, where I lived in Milan, that it's all over Milan, but where I lived specifically in the Navigli area, it was where the famous Milanese canals are, and they're all lined with bars and restaurants. And basically what you do there for aperitivo is, like, I guess it would be maybe around 5, 6, 7 o'clock would be the time that people would go out to aperitivo, and you order a drink. You pay like €9 or something, 9 or 10 euros. You also get access to this massive snack bar, like snack area. So you can either do a pericena or aperitivo, which is, they're both, I guess, called aperitivo in Milan, but a pericena is more like dinner. So you pay, yeah, like 9 or 10 euros and you'll get it full on buffet, and it's so good. Like, some of the places you go can be like a bit dodgy, like it's not that good food, but a lot of the places as well have really, really good options. So that's definitely a really good option for students, especially, you know, if you can't be bothered cooking or something and you want to go out after uni with your friends or something like that. Such a good option. That was definitely one of my favorite things about Milan, and I really, really wish we had it here. I was saying to one of my friends, if I ever opened a business or like a restaurant or something, which I probably never would, but never say never, that I would make it have aperitivo, because it was just the best thing ever. I don't think anywhere else in Europe really has it. I guess in Spain you would have tapas, but I don't think they have like the €9 or €10 thing where you get like a whole bunch of stuff, like a whole selection. I don't know, let me know if you know otherwise, but I'm not really sure about that one. The next thing I'm going to talk about is to find the local market where you live. Now in Italy, in Milan in particular, is so good for this, because basically wherever you live in Milan, there'll be a couple of days per week where they have this whole fresh food market, and it's like you'll get all the fresh fruit and veg, you have the cheese and the meats if you want that. They even have like other markets where they sell, you know, laundry stuff, and which is so convenient if you're after like cheap supplies or something, or if you want to get like fresh fruit and veg that you might not be able to get in the normal supermarket. And it's also so much fresher, and it's often like so much better. You feel, I guess, really old school when you're walking through there. It's so cute. It's like, and I don't mean that in a condescending way at all, because I freaking love it. It was one of my favorite things about Italy. But just the way they live, it's so, I guess, so classical. And you see, you know, all the small business owners, and they're there with all their fresh fruit and veggies, and they're telling you all about it, and it's just great. It was definitely one of my favorite things about Italy. and they're all over Milan as well. So definitely look out for one of those in your area. The ones in my area were on every Wednesday and Saturday morning, so I would make an effort to like get up early, go get my fruit and veg, and I even got one of those little like nonna trolleys, and it's like, you know those ones, they have the wheels and you like wheel it along, and they have the flap, and then you can fit so many groceries in there. It's just so practical. So I used one of those sometimes when I would go to the markets if I needed to do like a big shop or something. So yeah, love that. The next two things I'm going to talk about are going to be uni specific. So depending on whether or not you're going to a uni, these are things you should definitely take advantage of if you have them available to you. So where I went to uni was at Università Cattolica, and they had this buddy program that you could sign up to, and basically they pair you with a local student, like a student from the university, and they help you in your first couple of weeks getting like your admin stuff done. So getting your metro card, showing you around the uni campus, and just literally any other question you have, even if it's not related to uni, and if it's just related to like, I don't know, traveling or tips about the city. Through my buddy, I met literally so many people, so many of my friends in Milan through that program, so I couldn't recommend it more. It helped me so much and relieved so much pressure from me in those initial few weeks. So if I can recommend anything, it's definitely to sign up to that, because yeah, it was one of the best things I did and really enriched my experience in Milan. So that's everything I have for now. I'm sure I'll think of other things. Let me know if you have any other questions or anything. I'd be happy to answer those for you. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.